Feel your marriage is disconnected, but crave connection in your relationship? Closeness and intimacy, a distant memory in your marriage? Well, stay tuned for a jam-packed, informative, and edgy episode of Recharge Your Marriage coming up right now. Hi, I'm Zev Halpern, and thanks for tuning in to Recharge Your Marriage, and kudos to you for looking for ways to improve your marriage. I really do know a bit about this, and I know how to help you get your marriage out of stuck and into a place where the two of you can come to terms, and most importantly, enjoy your time together. We have a great show. We'll be featuring the It Takes Two Players Improvers and special guests John and Nadya Melton. John and Nadya are a highly energized couple with kids who'll give us the scoop on making a modern-day social media ma and pa shop marriage flourish and thrive. To get you focused and started on improving your marriage, I want you to have a free gift. So I hope you log on to rechargeyourmarriagenow.com/free gift after the show and get the Marriage Recharge Guide free. One for her, one for him. It'll get you thinking about what you both need to do to at least improve the climate of your marriage, and at the best, help you to support and fulfill your spouse's needs with a chance for a friendlier, happier, closer, and more intimate marriage. So go get the free gift. Well, let's get to the Marriage Matter segment. Here's the It Takes Two Players to get us in the mood for this segment.
So, sometimes, we've done this and we've done that. But I really think I might like this one.
Okay, well, see, I wasn't sure if you would... Well, here, let me show you something.
Okay.
I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know how to bring it up with you, but I would kind of like if we try this. Just the two of us.
How does...
Here, and kids are away for the weekend, and we've got time, and
I could
okay,
I could
but
try that.
all right. Now, I really like when you touch me here. I know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
I don't know. I don't know how to bring it up. So this helps a little bit. Well, maybe you could show me.
Oh, well, you know what?
You know.
You can bring it up. There's the one back here.
Oh, so you've looked at this already?
Maybe.
Okay.
Long before there were electronics, humans have always had buttons and switches on board. Yes, human built-in apps powered by complex and wondrous human body circuitry. These buttons and switches serve to turn us physically and emotionally on and off. We can operate our human buttons by touching or having them touched physically or emotionally through our interactions with one another. Our human buttons and switches can pull us towards the light of good feelings, intimacy, bliss, peak well-being experiences, causing us to cry out in joy and sexual ecstasy, or plunge us towards the dark, to depression, anger, and deep despair. So imagine the good we can do by pushing our own and each other's personal switches. When we feel good, as well as soothe others, it trickles down to other people, and you've created a positive trend. You can support others who are struggling by finding creative, consensual ways of touching their buttons in ways that lead them to better outlooks and fulfilling outcomes. Here's some human switches and buttons on my list that stimulate marriage contentment and foster anticipation. For some of you who are discouraged, this may be challenging, but trying is everything. Put your arm around your spouse and squeeze. Hug, kiss, caress, listen, embrace, share. Be present in each other's lives. Offer to help. Do something nice. Massage. Chill out once in a while. Tell them how much you care for them. Tell yourself things will be all right instead of catastrophizing. Play together. Surprise them with things they cherish. Rediscover and explore each other's private buttons. Whisper something sensual in their ear. What are some of yours? Please share so we can all benefit. So I leave it to your imaginations to find soothing ways to stimulate our human apps to pull, push, and touch some of your spouse's emotional and physical switches and buttons. You may find them non-receptive or pushing you away, which can feel so defeating and be a real buzz killer. Well, if you love and care for them, keep trying to creatively find the window where you can push the right button or switch. Tell yourself it's worth the effort because it really can be, and you and the closest people to you will benefit in a huge way. Well, now I'm walking down the hall to the bedroom for the Sexpectation segment of the show. Please join me for some really useful insight and information about melting that physical ice that has built up between you. Hi, and welcome back. Well, you see we've changed venues. Please don't jump to conclusions. Sex can happen anywhere. Okay, you have sex all over the place? Not just the bedroom? On the kitchen table? That's quite special. Thank goodness for spontaneity and a little Lysol. Let's get into the subject of breaking through some of that sexual ice that's built up between the two of you. For those of you that are struggling and really want to reconnect physically and have some sexual contact, have fallen out of sexual contact, can't get started, one of you does, one of you doesn't, well, we'll start light and work on finding ways to reconnect by doing something physically soothing for each other. I've never heard any bad feedback about soothing. Soothing is definitely good. It provides the safety and security that brings couples to emotional and sexual intimacy. So we have props. By the way, it's okay to have some props. Remember, we're trying to find a way to push and pull the right button and switches to spark some emotional, physical interactions. Remember, We all have those buttons and switches on board, and no matter how long they've been dormant, when stimulated the right way, emotionally and physically, they still operate and can bring us much emotional and sexual pleasure. Tonight, we'll experiment with mutual back massage using plastic back massagers, which, by the way, I forgot to bring, and powered by our desire to focus in and give our spouse some safe but wonderful feel-good time. This exercise can be done anywhere. It's good to have a place to sit down, relax, get comfortable with each other. No miracles, just your undivided attention. Keep the expectations down, unless you both want to turn this into the big event. If you're ready, go for it. Please don't let us interfere. You know what big event I'm talking about. Remember those two on the kitchen table? Use the massager to massage your partner's shoulders and back. Look, you don't even have to touch each other with your hands. Just let the motion do the pleasuring and try it for 10 minutes or so and switch. It's okay to be verbal and acknowledge, "Ooh, I like the way that feels, honey. Please don't stop." This serves to connect you in a safe way. Not, "Okay, do we do this dumb exercise? What I need is some frickin' sex." You can take your clothes off, your shirt or your blouse, or not. Only something you feel like doing. You can do this clothed. You can do this naked. You make the decision. Your effort will be well received, and your marriage will be so much better for it. And you'll have taken a step towards improving your marriage. And don't forget, plan a next time to get together. This is how you begin to make your marriage a soothing place you look forward to being. In the Marriage Pulse tonight, we welcome John and Nadya Melton. John and Nadya are a high-powered couple. John and Nadya met in their early 20s in the marketing business they were building at the time. Since then, they've joined forces and have been building businesses, some in related industries, some unrelated. Today, they are multipreneurs, internet and social media trainers. They now have been happily married for 10 years. They have 2 beautiful children, and they travel and speak around the world, empowering other entrepreneurs for success. Welcome, John. Welcome, Nadya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very excited.
I want to thank you for our meeting, because when we were in your living room, I got a chance to really get a taste of who you guys are, your children, recording studio. I really got off the phone feeling like I knew a little bit about you, and I had this good feeling about this interview coming up. So what's it like to have a social media business and be in a ma and pa kind of way? What does it take to do that?
Ladies first, of course.
Ladies first. Well, it's, we take it day by day. I have to say, it is definitely fun. I mean, we've been working together since we met in our early 20s. And so we wouldn't do it any other way, I guess, is how I can say. And we work together in the house, and the kids kind of are involved in our businesses. So,
I saw the kids
like
peek their heads in
Yeah.
the video. It was great.
Yeah.
They knew just where to peek their heads.
Just
in.
where
It was
they,
just
they're
the
trained,
perfect-
because we for sure do videos at all times. We have a studio in the house, and my son has a blog. That was a great project we did last year. So I think my kids are so used to us kind of being the way that we are, so they really go with the flow.
So what's your special recipe for a good marriage?
Special recipe.
Have a lot of fun.
Yes, we do have a lot of fun.
We do enjoy the silliness. We like to have a good time.
Yes,
right?
I think really the big one, Zev, is because we met in business, we always sort of had the common vision. You know, we always wanted to kind of achieve big things and inspire other people. So I think what makes it so special, what we have, is because we are always on a mission together, you know, we do everything together. So I think for me, that's it. And he makes me laugh. So, and I love to laugh, you know how that is. You know, wrinkle is a swear word in our house, for sure. Nobody's interested in that. And I think it's important, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy all the time, obviously, working with, you know, your significant other. And, you know, there's definitely times where, you know, it might be a little challenging because you want to just turn the business off for a couple minutes or, you know, a few hours or a whole day.
It really is hard for us to turn it off and then focus on the relationship.
Yep. But we make sure that we, you know, spend time together as a couple, shut our phones off, or, you know, just don't talk about business for a little while. And same thing with the kids. You know, we got to hang out with the kids, you know, whether we take them to laser tag or bowling or, you know, playing in the house. Yeah, whatever we're doing, we try to make sure you have that balance.
We
Absolutely.
just fit it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
What would you say to a couple that's not having so much fun, you know, that just can't get out of their marriage routine, you know, they've gotten used to watching too much TV, they're not close.
Right.
I see you guys, I looked in on you, I see your videos,
Yeah.
you're close. Even if you're distracted, you're close.
Right. We're close.
What would you say to them?
Yeah.
Because that's what the audience wants to
Right.
hear about.
So, you know what? I tell you what I would say is a couple things. Number one, and this is how John and I have done, we do a lot of personal development together because I think when you feel anxiety, you know, which in marriage, if you have anxiety, I think it's important to troubleshoot the areas that bring anxiety. So I'll give you an example. So a couple years ago, I love to eat good food, first of all, and I love to cook, but I was only like cooking breakfast foods because I was good at it. But when it came to like lunch or dinner, I would outsource it to my mom because we moved my family here from Russia. My mom lives with us. We're a little bit spoiled. Wow. So I wanted to kind of take over that thing, and I went in and I became like, I call myself a chef, right, baby? How good am I at cooking now? So I invested some time into my skill set of cooking, and then now it brings us so much joy. So I think in any like relationship, I think it's important to troubleshoot, okay? So I have, you know, right? Like I believe if guys are hungry, they're angry. So I believe it's important for us women to take care of them, you know, because that's what we're on this earth to do, is to really come in and make the household really warm. And I also believe as a girl, we have to take care of ourselves. You know, like I always do my makeup and I do my hair because, you know, I'm still looking to keep him interested. And he does the same thing for me. So
Not
what
the
I would
makeup
say,
part.
not the makeup part.
So can I butt in right there?
Yes.
What do you do to refresh your marriage? You know, sometimes when
First of all, turn off the TV.
Yeah, turn it off,
Talking
for
about
sure.
people
Unplug
watching
it.
TV, yeah.
Yes, unplug it because, you know, it's a depressing machine. I interrupted you again.
I
Sorry.
mean, just, you know, spend time with each other. You know, Friday nights or date night. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of couples that I know that seem to have, because they have different careers, different jobs, you know, it's like they don't understand each other. They don't take time to listen to each other. And, you know, obviously in a relationship like that, sometimes both parties have a little bit of an ego, and they don't really care about what the other is thinking or feeling. And I believe in a relationship.
Not your amigo.
In a relationship, yeah, exactly. Ego is not your amigo. In a relationship, you have to be 100%. You can't say, well, I'll be 50% if you're 50%. You have to be all in.
Very good, baby.
And, you know, from there, and Nadya and I are obviously not always going to be like that, but we do our best to listen to each other and, you know, understand where each other are coming from, even if we don't feel that.
And both of us are loud. You know, we're loud and proud. So I don't think we have a problem communicating. So I think a lot of times.
I think you have.
So I think it's important to be open.
If she has something on her mind, she lets
me know. For sure,
he
knows it. Yeah, I for sure make it known. But I think it's important to communicate. You have to start with the basics. And I think if you start to flirt, like he's so good at flirting. Like he tells me so many times every day, like how much he loves me and I'm so beautiful. And of course, you know, it's so important for us girls to hear that.
What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to hear that?
Well, you know, because it really is the foundation to maybe like in a marriage, you got to have the confidence, right? That like your spouse loves you and appreciates you. And he definitely makes me feel like I'm the queen of the world. I think sometimes I need a crown, for sure. I decided, baby, that really should be a present you get me. Because for sure I'm the queen of the house and he makes it known. And so that's awesome.
So when you're looking out, you know, and you meet other couples and you see them and you see that they're not, you know, they might be having some trouble. what would you say to them? What would you want to, you know, just like you in a video, Nadya, like if you got on that, when you get on that video, you're like,
hammer time.
Hammer time. Right. What would you hammer through to them? You know,
What
just
would I
like,
hammer through?
get up, you guys. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's
just
what,
stop with the nonsense. I mean, I think that, Zev, you said it. Like, you just have to get to the bottom line. That's what my personality is. I just kind of get in there. I sort out the nonsense. And I think also, here's a big one, is when I talk to couples, because John and I do a lot of coaching, we talk to a lot of people, and do you know what I notice? Like, sometimes the other person, how do you say, a person, like husband or wife, would be talking about the spouse in like a negative way. And I'm like, you bite your tongue. Like, don't speak death about your spouse.
You hear it a
because
lot.
it's a direct reflection of you. You married the person.
He's so lazy,
right?
or
He's
she
lazy,
doesn't cook me
like
any food,
It's
yeah.
like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
bite your tongue, you know?
Yeah.
talking
Because
crap.
talking crap, you cannot talk crap about your spouse. I mean, you have to edify each other.
People
like
do that with their kids too. They'll talk
they do
like,
it
"Oh,
with the
my,
kids.
my son's the devil" or something. You're like, you know, you just
Say, are
said
you kidding
that
me?
you're-
Like, this is your
You just said
kids,
your
this
son
is
is
your
evil.
wife, like,
Yeah.
what do you
Life
do?
and death is in the power of
Yeah.
the tongue, for
Yeah.
sure. So I think that needs to stop, right? Because you're creating that energy. And I think also when you feel bad, right? I recorded a video about this. When you feel bad because you speak death, you attract more negativity and more unhappiness versus like going into the state of gratitude. Because I think it's really easy when you get into a relationship, like you go from like, oh, I love this person because of this, and then you get married, and then you start to focus on what you don't like. Right? And one time I heard Joel Osteen say that in every relationship, the other person has 80% of what you need. And we tend to focus on the 20% they don't have. Go and look into somewhere else. Where instead, right, baby, it's important to focus on this is what I love about the person. And you build them up and you edify them, right? And because then you know, it's kind of like when you look for something, whatever you look for, you find. Whatever you search for, you will find. So if you look for good, you're going to find more good. And the more you're going to fall in love, and it becomes a self-evolving process.
How do you let each other know when your needs aren't being met? You know, if that ever happens with the two of you.
It's very easy.
I tell her and she tells me.
Yeah.
We have no problem.
We have no problem communicating.
Yeah.
I think
Being honest.
Being honest is so important. But also, baby, what you do really good at is when you're honest, like you don't like go, oh my gosh, like, you know how some people tend to be negative? Like you have a way of handling the situation. Like politically correct.
And
How
if I
can you
don't,
say
I
it?
always say sorry.
What's your key to success?
I always apologize when I'm not so appropriate. But for the most part,
For
yes.
the most part, yeah. We just are open with each other.
Yeah.
So some people in marriage, some people have bad days, some people have bad marriages. What do you guys do with your bad days? You know,
Yeah,
when
we
you see
go-
John's having a bad day,
I take
you
him
see
to the
Nadya.
movies. Yeah. I for
Or
sure
she
solve
says,
a
"Oh,
problem.
baby, just take a nap."
Yeah, you know, I have to shut him down because he gets on my nerves if he's in a bad mood, and I'm not interested in spoiling my good energy. So I make him take a nap, or maybe like we'll go watch a movie because I think
We'll eat.
We'll eat.
Because
you know,
we work from
you have
home,
to break the
there's-
cycle, you know, right away. So I think you just have to troubleshoot
Shut the phone
and
off
find.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, the
you're
two
right.
of you do what your coaching says. You know,
Yeah.
you reach in and you reach
Yeah.
out to
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
other, and I think that's what you know makes the ball game for a
Yeah.
marriage. And I think you guys know how to do it. It's quite obvious.
Oh, thank
You know,
you.
from just seeing
I'll
the
soak up
way-
your compliments,
The way you
Zev.
guys, you soak it up. Okay? but I've seen you sitting on that couch, you know,
Yeah.
with each other, and there's something very natural and very straightforward about it. I don't see, you know, something not authentic.
Yeah.
You know, the authenticity comes through for me.
Thank you.
So tell me, what's the best thing about your marriage? What's the best thing about this guy? And you know, let's hear from
Yeah.
both of you. What's the best thing about John?
He is the best. You know, I tell him he is the, you know, it's his world, I live in it. You know, but then I also remind him, you know what, baby, behind every great man, there's a better woman. Because I have to edify myself. I think as women, we
true.
should do that. But really what I love about him is the fact that we're best friends. I can tell him anything. I know he's got my back. I trust him. And the best part is we have a blast together, but we also are on a mission. So we have the same goal. So I think that's what really makes it so amazing. And he's amazing. He's so hot. He is the best man alive.
So how about for you?
What is it for you, baby?
How about you, John?
Well, outside of the fantastic sex, of course.
Oh my gosh.
And she
Can
did
we
steal.
talk
She
about-
stole my line, but
What
You
line?
can talk
best
about
friends.
anything.
We
you
are
could-
we are best friends, and it's interesting actually when we worked together in that first company 13 years ago. We were
Yeah.
just really good friends. We would compete with each other, so we got to know each other really well. And What? Oh,
Just
okay, gotcha. So anyway, so we became really good friends, really close, and from there, our relationship turned into obviously a much more romantic relationship. Then we had our first son.
He couldn't keep his hands off of
we,
me.
All right,
Zev.
well,
we've been building businesses together, traveling, lots of awesome
I
experiences.
have no trouble believing that. So why don't you just tell me very quickly about the business? Tell me about what you guys do.
What we do.
Because we're almost out of time. But
Sure.
Tell me about that.
Well, Nadya and I actually a few years ago really got into training and coaching entrepreneurs to brand themselves and become internet marketers, take their business to the internet, really creating an online brand.
Yeah.
We have a couple traditional businesses, a couple online businesses, and really just mentoring people around the world.
Yeah,
and
we love to
it's a lot of
teach and
fun.
train and inspire and equip.
Yep.
So we've been doing that, well, since we got started in business,
Mm-hmm.
really. But over the last couple of years, we really zoomed in on how do you have a successful business from home? How do you market online? And also, how do you have a lifestyle? Because we only live once, hashtag YOLO, so there's no time to waste, right? So
Well, I
that's
think
really,
you guys have the right energy level. I
Yeah.
think you're calibrated
you.
just right on the mark for what you do. And that's all we have time for
Awesome.
tonight. So to find out more about John and Nadya Melton, here's how to contact them. To find out more about the It Takes Two Players, contact Chris Pennick. I invite you to find out more about how I can help you through my signature program, Recharge Your Marriage Now. Enrich your marital communication skills. Reconnect for a deeper, more fulfilling relationship. Spice up your marriage and feel the love again. Here's how to find me at rechargeyourmarriagenow.com. Follow me on Twitter, like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on LinkedIn. And finally, hug, kiss, touch, talk, cuddle, laugh a little, smile. Be kind to those you meet. We're all fighting a great battle. We're all in need of some loving kindness. I'm Zev Halpern. See you next time for Recharge Your Marriage.